too
The Willow
confusing.
and Estella Chronicles.
That's a good name. The Chronicles of Willow and Estella.
Part 1.
My name is Estella Boersma. I've been modeling for about 5 years, and this is one of my best friends.
I am Willow Hand, and I've also been modeling for about 5 years, and we met on our first job together.
Yeah, well, we actually met on our first show, but
Yes.
today we're gonna be talking about the very first shoot that we did together, very first editorial in the fashion industry. We had no idea what to expect. What is an editorial? We were shooting for British Vogue.
Which
and
was
we were
pretty
like-
crazy. We both flew to London for it. It was my first time to London. Had you ever been to London before?
No.
I remember we stayed in Shoreditch.
In the Ace Hotel!
In the Ace
That
Hotel.
was fancy.
It was very fancy.
I remember coming there.
With two 16-year-old
Did
girls.
you have a guitar in your room?
Yeah,
I was
remember.
the
We had
happiest
guitars in
person
the
in the
room.
world. I was like, whoa, what is that?
Oh my god.
Show.
You know what I just remembered? I had to cancel being in the school play to do this shoot.
You canceled your school play?
I was supposed to be in the school play. Yep. No,
I
I
skipped
remember.
a mathematics test for this shoot. I dropped math anyways the year after,
Very
so it's
important.
totally fine.
I got kicked out of school for this shoot. But that's a story for another day. Yeah, that's a story for another day.
You got kicked out of school
I
for
did
this shoot.
not this shoot specifically. Okay, I got kicked out of school because I was out of school for 6 weeks straight, which is a long time. I was doing all my extra credit work. I was doing all the work that they asked.
Were you doing Fashion Week?
Yeah, it was during Fashion Week, during my first Fashion Week, and then I came back. And they were like, all right, you're finally back. You're not going to travel anymore. And 2 days I got this job and I had to leave again and I quit the school play. I was like, I'm out of here, you guys. I'm sorry, but this is how it has to be. When British Vogue calls, you drop everything and go get to it. My teachers thought I was lying about being a model. I remember telling one of my teachers that I was going for a job.
Shit.
He was like, well, have fun as long as you're not pranking me. I was like,
Because
Pranking
every
you.
high school student usually pranks that they're
a
modeling.
high fashion model.
Oh, hey, I'm a model. I'm gonna fly to London to skip a mathematics test.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
Oh, what's the lie about that part?
That's-
Very
Like,
that's
you
it.
can
typical,
fucking
very
buy the
typical.
British Vogue and see that I'm in there. Like, don't tell
That guy-
them.
I know.
That guy's obviously not very good at calling in sick at work. He's like, oh yeah, I can't come in today because I gotta fly to London to be a model.
Wait, guys, we're going a little bit from the point.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's just start at the start.
Yeah.
You would walk in, and there was this giant space from like
It was
left
like
to
2
right.
floors, like a giant balcony up at the top.
up
there
on
were
this
gardens
balcony,
everywhere.
They would have this like catering service,
Oh,
and I
the
remember on
catering
my
was
first
so
jobs, I
It
would
was
see
so good.
everything.
I
You
remember they
it was
always
like,
have these
they had
muffins.
pudding.
Oh yeah, the pudding
They
was
had
good.
banana pudding.
They-
Besides the food on set.
It was a multiple day shoot, and it started off in a studio. Started off, everything was normal.
And it was shot by Jamie Hawksworth. I worked together with my first job. And I really liked working together with him, so I was so excited about this shoot. But I had no idea which stylists there were in this industry or what was hair and makeup like. And we got this like crazy hair. Did you get this crazy hair too?
Oh yeah, this is one of the pictures of us together.
I mean, it wasn't
together,
crazy.
but
But like the hair was completely frizzly and I have naturally really straight hair. Yeah.
I remember they curled our hair over and over in like the backwards directions to make it all frizzy and brushed it all out like crazy. And then they put mine
It
in a
was
bun anyway.
painful.
That happens a lot on set. They'll do
I know, they were
crazy
like, let's
hair on
put
you,
it in a bun anyway.
and then they'll put it in a
I
bun.
think we were both just so flabbergasted by the amount of looks we were trying on, the hair and makeup changes, and like
It was crazy.
it was crazy.
So how many shoots have you done before this? Each of you, like, what was this shoot number 100? Shoot number 1?
It wasn't your
No,
first shoot.
This
you
was my
shot.
second.
This
second
was, I don't know, because right after my first show season, I shot the Prada campaign, and then I shot Vogue Italia, and
Oh,
then I
yeah.
shot this. This is my third shoot.
But then I didn't do actual modeling before, so I did the Miu Miu campaign with Jamie Hawksworth, and that was amazing with like 60 people on set, and it was this crazy big production, and I was like the only girl there. It was like one of the craziest things I've ever been a part of.
This was the same photographer?
Same
Yeah,
photographer.
same
yeah.
photographer.
Oh, okay. Do you have any favorite shots on the shoot?
Right, let's
I
see.
do.
Oh wow, there's an article on it.
Models: Estella Boersma, Willow Hand, Aya
Nice.
Jones, and Agnes Neese. So the first day of shooting, we were in a studio, and then the second day, We drove absolutely out into the middle of nowhere
I remember that. That
to
was
shoot.
actually
We were out
quite
in the
amazing.
English countryside. It was several hours out of London.
Wasn't
out
it
in
the
this
first time you
field.
got naked on the countryside?
It was the first time I got naked in a field. A milestone for every woman.
That is
woman.
hilarious.
Every woman gets naked in a field at least once, and this was my first time.
I
So-
really liked inside shooting though, because like there was some times where I would walk into the studio and they would have set up some sort of installation, and there was this one installation with like, it's not a barbed wire because it's not
Alright, let me
barbed, but there was
find
like
this.
all these wires and I was like
There it
entangled
is.
in them, and then Jamie was
Estella,
asking me like,
tangled in
can
the
you
wires."
push further into the wires?
There
Like it was
is.
so fun.
Nice.
It was so
Estella
interesting.
in the wires.
Stella's in the wires.
So this
was
is-
this real gum. I've always wondered, did you actually blow this bubble or is that fake?
This is quite the interesting story.
Yeah,
so
tell me what's going on.
I have
So-
no idea. I wasn't there.
I've always wondered about
I
this
was
bubble.
shooting, and we were doing the bubble, of course. They were like, we want her to be blowing a magnificent bubble. And they were like, can you blow a bubble? I was like, of course I can blow a bubble. That's not a problem. But they really doubted me. They didn't think that I could blow a bubble. So somebody grabbed a balloon, and they blew up this balloon.
It's a balloon?
It's a balloon, and they tied a knot in it, and they were like, just bite down on this, it'll look like a bubble. They thought they were so clever. Do you want to know that 3 times within that month, I had to do another shoot before this came out, where they had me bite down on a balloon and pretend it was a bubble.
What?
3 times.
3
in that-
times in 1 month.
And every time they did it, they were like, this is brilliant. This has never been done before. Nobody has ever thought about this. And I had to keep my mouth shut. I couldn't tell them that, like, literally
you,
a
like,
week ago,
did you
somebody
tell
had
them?
just... No, I
You
didn't.
should have told them. It would have been so funny.
I'm
They're-
sure they
they're-
saw the
they're gonna
pictures.
know-
They're gonna watch
They're gonna know
this.
now. They're gonna watch this video and be
They're
like,
gonna-
she lied to us?
I knew all along. Also, so you see this zipper right there on the jacket. It wasn't a real zipper. The jacket actually had buttons underneath of that it like kind of snapped together. So the stylist assistant, they wanted to take it off at some point, and the stylist assistant unzips the zipper and destroys a $4,000 jacket. At which point the stylist comes back and just starts absolutely screaming at the guy,
No
like
way.
losing his mind. And he's like, why is it broken? What's gone wrong? And then they discover that it snaps. So that's probably
Imagine that
the
happening
most
to you.
destruction that's ever happened on a set that I've been on.
That's pretty stressful.
And it
I know,
happened
it's
while
the
I was
worst.
wearing it, which was kind of crazy.
So how long did you wait for these pictures to come out after you shot?
I think about 6 months.
I think it was a long time. See, the whole thing was shot on film.
Yeah, because he
so-
always
Which
shoots
is
on
common?
film.
Is that
They were
common?
out in the field. Not
Um,
particularly common, no.
it
Jamie
got-
Hawksworth shoots most of his things on
But
film,
don't you
right?
think there was a while where shooting on film became like really up and coming and
really like
popular?
trendy?
Because
Yeah,
I think a lot
for
of people
bit.
really like the quality and also the fact that a picture looks more like you can actually grasp or touch it on film.
Like the
compared
grain
to, like,
and
a
the
digital
feel.
picture.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
And it was just
You
like.
feel more like you're really there.
But I do feel like when I'm shooting on film though, like I can actually be in the moment. Because when I'm shooting digital, it's kind of like I'm just moving and I'm going like, okay, sure, just doing my thing. And on film, it's really like you have to be there, you know, like now take this breath and look like you see something, or like laugh at this moment, because there's this one laughing. Should I show that?
I saw it.
Oh, here.
There it is.
Well, it became actually part of this 100 Years of British Vogue edition, and it was actually the first picture of the exhibition in London,
Oh wow.
which is pretty crazy.
There's Estella.
I didn't like this picture at all when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
I really like it.
I mean, I was 16, I thought I didn't look too charming, thought I had this kind of like clownish feel to it, and now I look at it and I'm like, no, I just look immensely happy.
Yeah.
So we made a joke on set, and you will remember
All right.
Japanda.
Japan.
It's
Japanda?
not funny at all.
Japanda.
It's just like, Jamie went like, okay, Estella, I need you to laugh. And I was like, can you make a joke? And I always ask this to people, you're like, can you make a joke? And he goes like, I don't know any jokes. Okay, how about, and Japanda? And he was like, Japanda? And I just
I
went
remember
like,
just laughing at Japanda.
And I
Rest
just went like, don't you know pandas are from China? So this is very comical because I say Japanda. And he just didn't get it. And he just kept saying it over and over again to make me laugh. But I was so young. Like, honestly, I loved it at the time. I thought it was the
Japanda.
funniest thing. So
Japanda.
after this laughing picture, I walk downstairs back into the studio. I sit down and I start telling you Japanda.
She just
And
sits
she-
down and she's just like, Japan then.
And you start
We're
laughing.
both just sitting, we're like, why is this funny? Japan
But it's just because like I didn't even have to explain it to you.
No.
Like one moment to another, you were like, "But pandas are from China." And I was like, "You say what I'm saying."
Two 16-year-old girls seeing eye to eye for the first time.
Japan.
Japanda.
We found
Japanda.
connection in Japan.
Japanda.
That's like when you do this with your eyes, and like you get all the mascara all over. That's Japanda.
That's Japan.
Japanda.
Okay, let's stop the giggle.
I
Alright.
didn't know that.
We
We're
should
done
finish up
giggling
this
for
story
now.
because I think
Yes.
we've been talking for hours and hours straight.
So long now.
So long.
So, after a day in the studio and a day in the field, everything was all done. Our time in London was over.
I think we flew back that night, actually, both of
I
us.
think
So
we
we didn't
did,
have time
yeah.
to actually catch up for dinner.
No.
And I think the next time we saw each other was probably about a year later.
When was the next time we saw each other?
Honestly, I have no clue. I know that
No.
when we actually got close, it was at the Dolce & Gabbana show last year.
I remember that, yeah.
That was amazing.
Last
like we
year,
started
yeah.
like talking and talking, and then we
In
went
London
out
last year.
with Josh.
With Josh
Right there.
and Josh Flint.
I'm not gonna turn the camera around.
That is
I'm
totally
not-
fine
I'm
with
not
us.
photo ready.
We went-
I'm
we
Japanda'd
ran-
over here, so.
It's a mess back there. You don't even want to think about it.
Anyways, I remember we got like pizza.
We
and
were
then
running all over Milan.
Okay, this
Estella,
is
me, and
unrelated.
both Joshes.
No,
So
this is
anyway.
unrelated to the first shoot, but this is a nice way to end this video because you know what we did when we came back to the hotel in Milan after the Dolce & Gabbana show, and this is like the best thing that we ever did. Like we came to this hotel and Josh goes like, "Guys, I found a secret pathway to the hotel." And I'm just like, "What? Are we like a James
What?
Bond movie or something? Let's go, guys, let's go." And then you were just like, "Oh yeah, I've been there before."
Josh is a pioneer, let me just say.
Oh, yeah.
Number
I
one.
was scared as motherfucker.
Okay, so the hotel has an extra fee if more people are staying in the room than just one. We had a lot of people staying in that room. So Josh was very creative and he
Oh, yeah.
was like, no, there's gotta be another way into this hotel so we don't have to walk past the front desk. And they realize we have so many people in this room. So he starts poking around the back, starts opening the doors, looking down the hallways, looking all around.
This is my third time in the hole. The hole. Part 3.
It was like
I
the
know.
abyss of Alice in Wonderland.
It was scary.
Absolutely. It was very scary. It was
Yeah,
very
it was.
far underground.
It was like
Not
5
very
stories.
many people. It was,
It was
literally
5 stories underground, I think.
it was so deep underground.
I thought we were
Not
gonna
very
find, like,
many
a dead
people had
body
passed. There were all the lights were flickering. There was a very strange smell.
There was 4 doors that you had to open with put tape and the thing so
Yeah,
it
but
would
it was
shut.
like literally like, okay, so outside doors is like parking lot.
There was a parking lot with a
Yeah.
trap door.
And there's a trap door. So you literally walk downstairs.
So you have to open up the trap door.
and you
And
walk
there's
in
stairs.
and it's dark, so we had to use a flashlight. I remember that.
Pitch black.
Pitch black, and it like smells a bit weird, and we keep going down these stairs, and like my
We're
heart just
down
starts going
and
like,
down
"Is
and
he
down.
gonna kill me?"
No, I didn't kill her. 5 years later, she's still here to make this video.
I remember we found like the way out, and you opened the wrong door. I opened the wrong door, and we ended up in the lobby. And all of us were just like that.
Bust out.
And we,
Bust out.
and we were just like closing
somebody-
the door, and we hear somebody like walking towards the door, and I go like, "Fuck, you know they've seen us. They know we're like walking people in here. We're like
We got
smuggling
thrown all
the
over our
people."
faces.
And that's how Estella and Willow's first shoot together went. They ended up in the lobby.
Well, that's kind of like a
That
long
was-
stretch.
Fast forward a few years. Oh boy.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. We'll save the rest for another video then.
All right.
And